As I look back on that summer, a bittersweet feeling washes over me, intertwining memories of longing and a sense of what could have been. My name is Ezra, and the summer I spent with Celeste was filled with personal growth and deep reflection. It was a tempest of feelings, longing, and choices that have etched an indelible impression on our souls. Celeste, a close family member, was someone I got to know better that summer. Join me on this journey by subscribing to my channel, allowing me to share more captivating tales that resonate with the heart and soul. Make sure to watch this video all the way through and give it a thumbs up, as the tale that unfolds is bound to captivate you deeply. Your support means the world to me, so please consider giving a like. At 41, Celeste possessed a captivating beauty that resonated softly, revealing layers of depth and complexity. Her soft chestnut hair framed her face in waves, and her hazel eyes held a mesmerizing gaze, as if they could unveil the hidden corners of your soul that you weren't prepared to reveal. She resided in a quaint little home on the outskirts of the city, having parted ways with her husband Dorian a few years back. When my parents proposed that I spend the summer with her after completing my graduate program, I felt a wave of hesitation wash over me. I barely knew her, and the thought of encroaching on her quiet moments filled me with hesitation. Yet they urged me on, convinced it would benefit me in ways I couldn't yet understand. With a heavy heart, I gathered my belongings and made my way to her serene sanctuary. Celeste welcomed me with her familiar embrace, enveloping me in a scent that lingered like a bittersweet memory of lavender and vanilla. Her home was just as I recalled, warm and inviting, brimming with stories, creative tools, and an atmosphere that beckoned you to linger a little longer. She guided me to the guest room, poured us some tea, and we spent that first evening lost in conversation, reminiscing about the past. At first, everything felt ordinary and unremarkable. Celeste spent her days immersed in work, while I found myself wandering through the labyrinth of my thoughts. I wandered through the nearby trails, delved into the books she had scattered about, and attempted to dispel the lingering uncertainty that enveloped me after completing my program. Yet, as I lingered in her presence, I found myself captivated by details I had overlooked. Her soft hum while preparing meals, the way her laughter illuminated the space around us, and the natural elegance that seemed to envelop her every movement. One fateful evening, everything shifted. The night was stifling and sleep eluded me, so I stepped into the cool embrace of the evening air, seeking solace under the stars. As I strolled by Celeste's bedroom window, I caught a glimpse of the curtains slightly parted, with the gentle glow of her bedside lamps casting a warm light onto the lawn. I hesitated, my gaze captivated by the scene unfolding before me. Celeste lay on her bed, lost in thought as she scrolled through her phone, each swipe stirring a mix of emotions within her. She draped herself in a silk robe that embraced her form with a blend of grace and ease, the fabric teasingly slipping from one shoulder. Celeste carried a quiet elegance, and I found myself deeply interested in her way of being. There was a captivating essence about her, a glimpse of her soul I had yet to uncover. I knew I should have turned back, yet I found myself captivated. Even though I was aware of the boundaries I was crossing, my gaze was irresistibly drawn in. I took a deep breath, realizing I had to process my emotions in a healthier way. As I glanced once more, she remained blissfully ignorant of my existence. The following day, her image lingered in my mind, haunting me with its intensity. It wasn't merely her beauty, it was the rawness and closeness of that moment that lingered in my heart. That evening, as she sat immersed in her book in the living room, I couldn't help but gaze at her with a deeper longing. "Is everything all right?" she inquired, her gaze lifting from the pages that held her captive. "Yeah," I replied hastily, trying to mask the turmoil within with a fleeting smile, feeling weary. She nodded, her eyes holding mine for a fleeting moment, a silent acknowledgement of something unspoken before she turned back to the pages that seemed to pull her away. That night, I found myself reflecting on the emotions I needed to better understand. I tapped gently, my heart racing with unspoken emotions. "Step inside," she beckoned. I entered the room, attempting to maintain an air of nonchalance. She sat up in bed, the fabric of her robe draping softly around her, a hint of longing in the air. "Restless nights weighing on your heart?" she inquired, a hint of wistfulness in her smile. I lowered my gaze and perched on the edge of her bed, a swirl of emotions enveloping me. "I wanted to reach out and see how you're holding up." Her smile held a bittersweet warmth. "That's kind, but I'm okay," she replied, her fingers brushing against mine. The caress held on, and the atmosphere surrounding us crackled with an unexpressed intensity. Gradually, she leaned in, her gaze probing into the depths of my soul. In that moment, I felt the weight of emotions I hadn't fully understood before. The kiss began with uncertainty, yet quickly transformed into something profound, an overwhelming surge of feelings that we could no longer contain. It was a spark, a moment caught in the air, yet all too brief. As our lips separated, the weight of the world came crashing down. Celeste hesitated, her hand resting gently on my cheek, her eyes filled with a mix of astonishment and yearning. "Ezra," she breathed softly, "what have we become?" The connection we shared was inescapable, a force that neither of us could ignore, leaving me with more questions than answers. "I'm not sure," I murmured, "yet it seems so perfect." She shook her head, a bittersweet smile dancing on her lips. "You are family, and our bond is important to me, but we must navigate it with clarity and respect. Our bond is significant, yet it challenges the boundaries of conventional understanding. As I navigate my own emotions, I find myself reflecting on the choices that have led us here, caught between what is right and what my heart desires. The journey of understanding myself and the depth of our bond is both beautiful and," I softly responded, "you're not merely my aunt. You hold a deeper significance in my life, and you understand that all too well." For a moment, silence enveloped us, thick with the weight of things left unsaid. Her hazel eyes shimmered with unspoken sorrow, revealing the turmoil within her, caught between the path she believed she should follow and the desires that pulled at her heart. Her breath faltered, a silent battle waging within her as she searched for the right words to create distance, to rationalize the turmoil swirling in her heart. "You're Celeste," I whispered, moving closer to her. "Your essence transcends any label or position. Your essence is truly remarkable." Her lips trembled, and for a fleeting instant she shut her eyes, attempting to shut out my voice, my existence. Yet there was a change within her. Her gaze met mine, a fierce intensity that coursed through me like a forbidden thrill. "This isn't right," she murmured. "Is it truly wrong?" I inquired softly, "or is it merely a belief instilled in us by others?" Celeste averted her gaze, wrapping her arms around herself as if to shield her heart from the ache within. "You just don't get it," she said. "I've devoted my existence to fulfilling others' expectations, and now I find myself at a crossroads, questioning everything." Her voice trembled, and she cast her gaze downward, feeling isolated, unseen, and lost in the shadows of her own heart. "You're not unseen by me," I declared, my tone unwavering, despite the wild thumping of my heart. "Your essence is unmatched, and you truly deserve to be recognized and cherished for the unique individual you are." She glanced over her shoulder, her gaze probing into mine, as if trying to uncover the unspoken truth that lingered between us. "But how?" she whispered, her heart heavy with unspoken feelings. "How could this possibly be anything other than a misstep?" "By embracing the truth," I whispered, moving closer until our breaths mingled. "By daring to truly feel." The distance that once separated us faded away as she exhaled, her breath trembling with unspoken emotions. With a gentle touch, I cautiously tucked a wayward strand of hair behind her ear. She lingered, caught in the moment. Instead, she shut her eyes, surrendering to the caress, as if it were the first sign of tenderness she had experienced in ages. Her lips parted ever so slightly, and in that fleeting moment, I found myself drawn in, pressing my lips gently against her forehead. It was a seemingly ordinary gesture, yet it held an abundance of significance. Her body quivered under my caress, and as I withdrew, her gaze met mine, brimming with unspoken feelings. Celeste, she started, her voice quivering with unspoken emotions. Whisper to me to halt, and I shall obey. She hesitated before responding. In that moment, she gently lowered her gaze, a silent refusal echoing in the air. I can't bear the thought of you walking away. In that moment, I realized how much I valued our connection and the lessons it taught me. It started with a delicate uncertainty, as if we were both exploring the delicate limits of what was possible. But when our lips finally touched, the doubt vanished, giving way to an undeniable intensity that consumed us both. Her hands found their way to my shoulders, holding on tightly as if I were her lifeline, and I enveloped her in my embrace, drawing her nearer. As we finally separated, her cheeks glowed with warmth and her breath came in uneven gasps. This alters the course of everything, she whispered, her voice heavy with feeling. Perhaps, I confessed, but perhaps that's just how it was meant to be. She gazed into my eyes, seeking the comfort of certainty. I don't know how to navigate this, she whispered. I find it difficult to embrace these emotions within me. You don't need to know everything at this moment, I whispered gently, intertwining my fingers with hers. We'll navigate this journey side by side. As the days unfolded, our bond intensified in ways I had never envisioned. Yet alongside it emerged an unsettling feeling that lingered in the shadows. The weight of our circumstances hung heavily between us, casting doubt on the delicate connection we had forged. Celeste's husband, Dorian, my uncle, was often lost in his work, leaving a palpable distance between us. The knowledge of her marriage lingered like a shadow, casting a weight on our hearts that neither of us could ignore. One evening, as we sat together on the couch, the air was heavy with the weight of everything left unsaid. Celeste finally let it go. Ezra, I can't continue down this path, she said, her voice weighed down by a deep sense of remorse. I can no longer wear the mask of happiness when my heart knows the truth. I took her hand in mine, holding it softly, as if afraid to let go. Then please, don't. You are worthy of so much more, far beyond being a mere footnote in your own story. Emotion flooded her gaze. But what if I'm lost in this tangled web and don't know the way out? You need not face this journey by yourself, I asserted with conviction. I will stand by your side through every twist and turn. The following day, an unspoken heaviness lingered, as if the world was poised on the brink of something profound. My gaze drifted toward Celeste's house, a magnetic pull that consumed my thoughts, leaving everything else in a blur. The echoes of our entwined experiences continued to haunt my thoughts. Her trembling hands, the way her voice wavered when she whispered that she didn't want me to cease. As the clock ticked towards the afternoon, anticipation coursed through me, urging me to act before the moment slipped away. I strolled down the well-trodden path to her home, each step heavy with longing and hesitation. Celeste found herself on a time-worn bench in the garden, sheltered by the sprawling branches of an ancient oak tree. Her phone rested silently beside her, a reminder of unspoken words and lingering feelings. She gazed into the horizon, her mind adrift in a sea of contemplation. Celeste, a name that lingers in the heart, evoking memories of what could have been, a journey of understanding oneself amidst the shadows of desire and longing. I whispered gently as I drew near. She flinched, her eyes locking onto mine with an intensity that took my breath away. Ezra, she whispered, her voice laced with a blend of astonishment and an unspoken longing, perhaps a sense of release. Why have you come to this place? I wanted to see how you were, I said, my voice calm despite the turmoil within me. After everything that happened yesterday, I felt compelled to check in on you and see how you're holding up. Her laughter trembled, a fragile sound echoing the weight of unspoken feelings. All right, I'm not sure what that even signifies for me now. Allow me to guide you through this, I offered, taking a seat next to her. You are not alone in this journey. She paused, her hands entwined nervously in her lap. I find myself at a loss for words, she admitted. Everything feels so intertwined, as if every choice I make carries the weight of someone else's heart. Perhaps it's not about steering clear of the hurt, I murmured softly. Perhaps it's about choosing what truly resonates within us and having the courage to pursue it, no matter the obstacles. Celeste gazed at me, her hazel eyes brimming with doubt and desire. What if the things we cherish most seem forever out of reach? She inquired, her voice a soft murmur laden with unspoken emotions. In that moment, I knew we could defy the odds as I gently grasped her hand, feeling the weight of our choices. Each moment unfolds gently. Her grip tightened on my hand, and for a fleeting moment it seemed as if she might let go, leaving me in a whirlwind of uncertainty. But then she exhaled deeply, trembling slightly, and leaned into me, her head finding a place on my shoulder. Have you ever sensed that your existence has been shaped by the desires and expectations of others? Her voice was gentle, as if she could sense the fragments of your identity slipping away. There are moments when I confess my uncertainties, yet in your presence it seems I am beginning to uncover the truths within myself. She tilted her head to look at me, a mix of longing and uncertainty dancing in her eyes. Your words make it seem effortless. It may not seem like it, I replied, yet the journey holds its own value. For what felt like an eternity, we lingered in quietude, the heaviness of her unvoiced emotions enveloping us both. At last, her words escaped, soft and fragile, like a whisper carried by the wind. For years, I wore a mask of joy, mingling at gatherings, playing the perfect host, chuckling at humor that left me untouched, while inside, an emptiness lingered, unacknowledged and aching. There's no need for masks between us, I stated with conviction. Embrace your true self, without hesitation or remorse. Her eyes shimmered with unshed tears as she gently lifted her hand to cradle my face, her touch delicate and hesitant. What compels you to act this way, Ezra? She inquired, her voice quivering with unspoken emotions. What makes you so invested in this? Because you are worthy of tenderness, I said, to be acknowledged, to be cherished for your true self. Celeste's hand lingered on my cheek, her thumb caressing my skin with a tenderness that felt both intoxicating and bittersweet. With a sense of trepidation, she inched closer, her lips grazing mine in a kiss that was both gentle and charged with an undeniable intensity. In that moment, everything else faded away, and it was just us, entwined in a connection that was as thrilling as it was daunting. As we reluctantly separated, a rosy hue adorned her cheeks, and her breath came in soft, unsteady gasps. This is insane, she whispered, a tremor of laughter breaking through her voice. What are we really pursuing? Something that resonates deep within, I declared, my voice unwavering even as my heart raced with unspoken truths. Something that holds significance. She gazed into my eyes, as if seeking to unravel the mystery of this inexplicable encounter. Ezra, she started, her voice heavy with unspoken feelings. I'm uncertain about whether I can embrace this, whether I can allow myself to experience it fully. It's okay not to know everything at this moment, I reassured. We'll support each other in learning and growing from this experience. Just as she was about to speak, the sudden ring of her phone shattered the stillness. Celeste recoiled, her hand racing towards the device as if it had seared her very soul. Her eyes flickered to the screen, a wave of tension washing over her as the name appeared. It's him, she murmured, a blend of longing and acceptance lacing her words. Are you ready to respond to it? I inquired with caution. She paused, a flicker of uncertainty crossing her face before she finally shook her head. No, she declared with conviction, placing the phone gently on the table, its screen turned away from her gaze. Not at this moment. I nodded, a wave of longing rising within me. You possess a strength that often goes unnoticed, I whispered. Don't allow him to steal that away from you. Her eyes glimmered with a mix of longing and sorrow as she reached out to grasp my hand once more. Thank you, Ezra, she whispered, for your presence, for the essence of who you are. After those words, her hand lingered in mine, and the world around us faded into a hushed stillness. We lingered in that moment, the garden enveloping us in a serene hush, broken only by the delicate whisper of leaves swaying in the tender wind. Her fingers intertwined with mine, creating a silent bond that conveyed so much more than words ever could. Her heartbeat throbbed beneath my fingers, a constant rhythm that quickened just a bit, igniting something deep within me. Her breath, shallow yet deepening, echoed the tumultuous thoughts swirling in her mind. Celeste, I breathed, the name escaping my lips like a secret I could no longer keep hidden within my heart. I yearn for this to be more than a fleeting encounter. I long to stand by your side through every twist and turn of this journey. It's time to embrace the truth, to stop living in shadows. Her gaze pierced through me, brimming with a depth that seemed to measure the weight of my words and the unspoken vows they held. I don't know how to handle this, Ezra, she whispered, her fragility nearly shattering my resolve. For so long, I've been haunted by the fear of my own emotions, terrified of the consequences of truly desiring something. Yet in your presence, I find a sense of liberation that I never thought possible. I leaned closer, tucking a wayward strand of hair behind her ear, my fingertips lightly caressing her delicate skin. So let go of your fears, I urged. Let's navigate this journey hand in hand. No matter what comes our way, we will confront it together. She paused, the burden of her past experiences in her marriage heavy upon her, yet gradually she acquiesced. All right, she murmured, we'll navigate this moment by moment. And that was the end of it all. What we experienced together marked the start of something profound, rather than a conclusion. The kiss, the intimacy, the silent connection we shared, it marked the beginning of a profound journey, something truly authentic. Neither of us needed to utter another word. The silence spoke volumes. What we shared, what we were starting to create, felt like it could be everything. In the weeks that followed, Celeste and I found ourselves entwined in a connection that felt both exhilarating and perilous. We moved at a gentle rhythm, honoring the space we needed, yet the bond we shared was impossible to ignore. We shared hushed mornings with steaming cups, strolled through the blooming garden, and engaged in whispered conversations about what lay ahead. As the days unfolded, the shadows of what once was began to fade, granting her the freedom to explore a new identity, one that opened her heart to desires long suppressed, finally welcoming the affection that had quietly lingered nearby. Yet, the most profound transformation was within her soul. The once protected woman I had encountered, someone concealed behind barriers constructed over time, had vanished. In her place stood a spirit unchained, liberated from the weight of yesterday, poised to embrace the unknown that lay ahead. And it was in these quiet moments, in the spaces between our words, that I understood my feelings for her ran deeper than mere affection. My heart was hers, a truth I can never escape. It was a challenging journey. Nothing truly valuable comes easily. There remain difficult discussions, instances of uncertainty, and the weight of external expectations. Celeste's union, marked by an emotional chasm with Dorian, weighed heavily on her heart. Yet the undeniable bond we forged illuminated our paths, allowing us to draw courage from one another amidst the shadows of our choices. That summer shaped us both, helping us grow in ways we hadn't expected. We created a bond, unique and profound, rooted in sincerity, loyalty, and the unwavering commitment to support one another through every challenge. It may not have been flawless, but it belonged to us alone. And for the first time in ages, we found a sense of peace in that moment together. As time flowed and the world around us transformed, our bond deepened in ways we never anticipated. We encountered obstacles, yet our bond remained unbreakable. In those moments when the weight of the world felt unbearable, when external forces loomed large, we would find solace in the memory of that night in the garden. It was there that we vowed to each other not to chase an ideal, but to embrace our true selves, to cherish what we had, and to envision a future that was worth every struggle. Celeste and I, two souls entwined from separate worlds, discovered a way to craft a narrative anew, one brimming with yearning, passion, and the unwavering conviction that even the most challenging journeys can unveil the most exquisite outcomes. Ultimately, that was the only thing that truly counted.